Hello and welcome back to Practically Spiritual. Right, this is a place where we're taking spiritual principles and introducing them into our lives with practical applications. So, welcome back. Today, we're going to talk about one of my favorite subjects, and the thing that I think we dismiss the most is our chakra system. So, chakras. The word chakra, it means disc or wheel, and it's a Sanskrit word. And the idea is that we have these little vortexes of energy inside of us that actually are really beneficial to know. So what we're going to do is I'm going to teach you about each one of our chakras, the six main ones inside the body, and then the one that sits above, that's like our antenna. What we send out there, we get back. That's our chakras. So, if you're ready, I hope that you take some time and really digest this information, just little bits at a time. All right, you ready? Our chakra system with me, Mariah Slingerland. Let's get started. Actually, I need to move this guy up top here. All right, let's get started. What are chakras? Okay, chakra is a Sanskrit word that means disc or wheel, which is to an indication that it spins or moves. The chakras are little vortexes within the body. They're vortexes of energy. They have characteristics, they have elements, they have our senses, and they also carry our traumas. They carry all those things that we haven't processed. They are magnificent when you get to know your chakras. A little side note in case I forget to say this, but this is why sound healing is so important or beneficial without even realizing what's happening, is that the sounds of the bowls directly correlate with different chakras in the body. So the bowl, they call it sound bathing, is because it's cleansing and clearing the insides of us to help the chakra work more efficiently, and the chakra actually sends energy to particular organ systems within the body to help them work efficiently. All right, so chakras send energy to the physical body and its organ systems. They spin clockwise. Our chakras spin clockwise when we're receiving. That's in meditation, that's in sleeping, that's in rest and recovery mode. So, all those things that we're doing in rest and recovery, your chakras will spin in a clockwise position. So when you're in doing mode, when we're, creating, when we're like working, when we're working out, that is our action. That is our action. That is our action mode. So our action mode, our chakras will actually spin in a counterclockwise position or counterclockwise direction. All right. Within the chakras is where the root of our issues are. And we'll go through these one after another. But if you want to get to the root cause of why you're having problems with your liver, diabetes, your heart, you want to get, weak bones, mind, all that stuff, you got to look at your chakras. Did I say that out loud? Yeah, I did, because that's how important it is. You want to know your chakras because they're the ones that are actually in control. If you just think about it energetically, our chakras are the ones that like give us our chi. our ki, our prana, our life force. Chakra. All right. Let's get to know each one at a time. Here we go. All right. The physical body and the chakra system. So this is where they're positioned in the body, within the body. So the root chakra sits at the perineum, at the base of the torso. The sacral chakra is around your navel area. The solar plexus is your gut and all your organs associated with your gut. Your heart, throat chakra, third eye chakra, and then the crown chakra sits about 3 inches above the head. Each chakra has a color associated with it. And then when you look at it like this is what it looks like in the physical body: the red, the orange, the yellow, the green, the sky blue, indigo, and then the violet. So that's what it kind of looks like in the physical body. Okay, let's get started with the first one. The Muladhara, the root chakra. Think about your root chakras like if your physical body were a big, beautiful tree. The Muladhara is the roots of your tree. It is what keeps you grounded. And it actually, when you have a really strong, robust root chakra, you're super connected to the earth. And the deeper and further your roots grow, the bigger your tree can grow, right? Which is just to say, like, the more expansive you can be. But it's really important to have a strong root chakra. The characteristics, I mean, come on, the characteristics of this one: your safety and security, and your ability to care for yourself. This is your foundation, the roots of your tree. It holds your sense of smell, the element of earth, and any unresolved issues between birth and seven will sit in this chakra. So if you grew up in a household where your safety and security were always being challenged, then you might want to look at the root chakra for, come into acceptance that things are and were the way that they were, and they're perfectly perfect just the way they are. The color associated here is red. And this root chakra governs your connection to the earth. So each chakra has, it has like a positive side and a negative side. Everything has positive and negative. Every energy has positive and negative. Otherwise, it just sits, right? You need the negative to get the positive going. You need the positive to get the negative going. You need both. So, and everyone has both. Think of this as two sides of one coin. On one side, the positive side, you're connected to the mother, you were unconditionally loved as a child, and you're really strong in your sense of self. On the other side, you become the victim. Like, oh, like the stories can go on and on and on, but you play the victim role or you play this nurturing, unconditionally loving mother role. All right, so the seed sound. A seed sound is also known in Sanskrit. The seed sound is known as the Bij sound. B-E-E-J. And what that sound is like the sound that wakes up this chakra. So the seed sound in this chakra is lum, 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 like this. That's the seed sound of this chakra. The musical note of this chakra is C. Now, this is why sound healing is so helpful because it cleanses and clears your chakras without you having to do anything, without you having to know anything. And by the way, if you go on my playlist on my YouTube channel, I have a whole selection of sound healings you can listen to. So, just, keeping yourself cleansed and cleared. Just listen to it before you go to bed at night. It's super beneficial. All right, so this governs your connection with the earth. It governs all of those things. The organs that it governs are your legs, knees, skeleton, ankles, and feet. So your whole skeletal system, the thing that holds you up, which is kind of like, the trunk of your tree, and everything below the root chakra, legs, knees. So anything, if you have issues with your feet, knees, hips, it's all sitting in your root chakra. So you want to sort of ponder safety and security, the ages, and maybe do a little sound healing or something to uh, help shift, change, get this root chakra strong and robust. Okay. The sacral chakra, the Swahisthana chakra. The characteristics of this chakra are your feelings and beliefs. It's the place where most of us hoard. And by hoarding, I mean we hold on to our beliefs and our feelings from the past like "Ugh, everything we got." We have to learn to let the past be the past. We have to learn that beliefs are some things that are taught to us, and we got to decide what we want to believe from this moment on. And the other characteristic of this chakra, which is huge, is this is where we work out our karma through our relationships. So we have to understand that, people come into our lives for a reason, a season, and a lifetime. So oftentimes, if people come and go, it's a karma thing. They're supposed to come in, teach you something, and then go off and continue on their divine journey. So this is where we work out our karma. It holds this your sense of taste the sweetness of life, and the element of water. The element of water, if you think about feelings and beliefs and water, just noticing, because I live so close to the ocean, I'm really connected to that. So how the moon controls the tides, right? And the water and the ocean look different every single day. Your feelings and beliefs can look different every single day. Any issues that are unresolved or that trigger you from the age of 7 and 14 will sit in this chakra. The color is orange, and this governs our elimination system. So think about that. We have an elimination system built into the body. The body knows how to heal itself, right? So our elimination system, the intestines, the appendix, the bladder, the large intestine, the genitals, the rectum, that is our ability to let go. Your elimination system is all those systems about letting go, letting go. It's already built inside of you. It's kind of like our mind. It's our human experience that wants to hold on, wrap stories around, believe, oh no, I know I'm right. I'm going to hold on to my beliefs. Okay, good luck with that. So the positive side is that you feel like this empress or this emperor, right? That's the positive side. The negative side is that you're a martyr. You hold that martyr role like, oh, woe is me, I gotta do, it's a lot like the victim role, but the martyr is like, I'll do it, don't worry, I'll do it. Nah, nah. We gotta let people do their thing because we're robbing them. Okay, the seed sound here is vum, vum, vum. And the musical note is D. I mean, this stuff's kind of cool. Solar plexus, the Manipura. So This one is your third chakra up. This is a really important chakra. This is the like everyone says our gut is our, it's our real brain or our second brain, but it's actually the brain of the if we break the heart, if we break the body into from the heart, the lower half of the heart down is all of the earthly stuff. And then the upper half of the heart up, that's our higher self. So the brain that can the brain for the body and the everyday life sits in our gut. Okay, the characteristics of our Muladhara or the Manipura is your will and your desire. Now, will is like my will, and then there's the divine's will for me. They're sometimes two different things. The idea is to get alignment with what the universe is trying to get you to do or to not do. And desire, will and desire. Desire is it has a lot to do with like the material things. Um, your gut instinct sits here, trusting your gut, your instincts. Remember when we used to do that? And this is where we experience challenges. It holds your sense of sight and the element of fire. So think about just putting that into action or thinking about it like this is like whatever you set your sights on, you have to like give it fire. You have to give it energy. And the more fuel you put on that fire, the more that you'll energize it to give it what your desire is. I go after like the material things are great to go after, and a lot of people can manifest those things, and it's super awesome, and I applaud everyone who does it. But my desires, they started to shift less for material things and more for like the I would say the divine things, which is peace, which is unconditional love, which is kindness, being merciful, feeling joy and all that stuff. Like those are things that bring all the materialism too. But, for me, it's like I switched my sights on, how to pay my rent and how to get a new car and how to like, la, da, da, all that stuff. I just switched to looking up and choosing that as a desire. And then everything else just kind of fell into place way easier. Okay, so any issues that we have from the age of 14 to 21 will sit in that Manipura area. The color here is yellow, and it governs your filtration system. Your filtration system is this idea that it takes what it needs, the body takes what it needs, the chakra takes what it needs, and then it sends everything else down to the elimination system to be done with it. So the filtration system is a filtering system. Your liver, your kidneys, your gallbladder, your spleen, your pancreas, your stomach. Those are your filtration system organs. If you have issues in any of these areas, then you're going to want to look at your solar plexus and how strong is your Manipura. The positive side of the solar plexus is the warrior, and the negative side is the servant. I spent a lot of time there. Just saying, I've spent a lot of time there. Okay, the seed sound here is rum, 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 and the musical note is E. Okay. The heart chakra, the anahata. The characteristics of your anahata is it gives and receives love unconditionally, openly, and gratefully. It's the place. Did you know that your soul resides in your heart chakra? It's the place where the soul resides. Oh my gosh. So the sense that's associated with the heart chakra is your sense of touch, your skin, everything that you touch, and the element of air, right? The heart chakra, lungs, air. Any issues between the ages of 21 and 28 will sit in your heart chakra. The color is green and it governs your circulatory system. So everything that circulates in your body is associated with your blood, first of all, breast, heart, diaphragm, arms, lungs, thymus, shoulders, hands, fingers, everything that comes out from your heart. That's your heart chakra. The positive side of our heart chakra that's openly working positively is unconditional love. The negative side is when you're just pretending or you're an actor and you're not really being unconditionally loving. So, what really draws me to this one is what I was saying about the heart chakra, right? The upper half of the heart is this is where it all comes together. You have four chambers of your heart, the left and right side, and the top and the bottom, the atrium, the ventricles, the left side and the right side. And when it's just, it's so valuable to know what sits in your heart chakra. Um, I often used to like research why men, the number one thing for men was heart attacks or strokes. And that's the heart. And I just remember as a child, all the guys and being called babies for showing emotion and crying. And, the heart isn't it's an emotional organ. And to pretend that you're not emotional, oof, I think that shuts down that heart chakra. So the seed sound here is yum, yum, and the note is F. It's just some things to ponder. Really interesting. Okay, throat chakra, the Vishuddha chakra. The characteristics, communication. How do you communicate to yourself, your self-talk? And how do you communicate to others? What you spend your time listening to, and your ability to hear the universe. Your sense of hearing sits in your throat chakra, the element of space. Space, universe. Any issues from the age of 28 to 35 can sit here. The color is sky blue and it governs your balancing system, everything associated with your sense of balance, balancing your earthly self to your higher self, balancing your receiving side versus your doing side, keeping it all in balance. The positive side to this coin is a communicator, and the negative side is like disparaging talk. It could be like gossipy, that kind of thing. So, thyroid, neck, teeth, mouth, throat. Here's another interesting fact is the back of the neck is where the soul attaches to the body, the back of the neck. So if you ever found yourself like after a hard day rubbing the back of your neck, that's what you're naturally doing. It is where the soul is attaching to the body. So, ooh, I want to shake off that day. I want to get rid of that and get back into your natural self. Throat chakra. Vishuddha chakra. Okay. The third eye or the Ajna chakra, this is probably the one that the majority of us know about. Okay, this holds the characteristics of your intuition, your ability to see into the future, And it also holds your visualization. Can you visualize when you're meditating? This chakra, when you're meditating and what you're trying to do is to withdraw from your senses, and you're trying to withdraw from your elements and bring everything up and into your third eye. It's your sixth sense, and humans are the only ones that have a sixth sense. And there is no element associated with it because you got them all up in that space. So, this is where you start to notice that your issues are actually your gifts. Ages 35 to 42, you start to come into like really recognizing and looking back on your life. Oh my gosh, this is why this happened. This is why that's there. This is what this is. And you start to get into this like acceptance and surrender for like everything that's been happening to you. Okay, the color here is indigo. This governs your connecting system, your connection to the next space up. And it's your eyes, pituitary gland, your nose, your brain, your pineal gland, and your ears. The positive side is the intuitive, the seeker, and the negative side is when you're intellectual, the thinker. So I am a big, huge thinker, and I have to remember and always remind myself to get out of that thinking mode and just get into like not thinking about it, but just taking the action, going and doing because I'll think my way out of doing so many things. All right, the seed sound here is Om, which is the sound of creation, Om. And the musical note is A. Bing. All right, last one, crown chakra, the Sahistana chakra. The characteristics of your crown chakra, this chakra that sits about 3 inches above your head. The characteristics are cosmic energy, conscious awareness. This is your antenna to the universe. This is where what your Ajni chakra, what you're thinking about, sends energy up and it radiates it out. So it's like the branches of your tree. So it's radiating out into the universe and it's telling a story. And then you'll attract back to you exactly what that story is that you're saying. So everything that you're putting out there, this is how you're putting it out there. You're sending it out in energy out of your crown chakra. The sense here is oneness, enlightenment, peace, joy, all those beautiful qualities, unconditional love. It holds all the elements. And this is another one where your issues really become your gifts, ages 42 to 49. Now, are all of these ages set in stone? No. Um, it's it's a good guide, but every one of us is on a different life path. So there are people's chakras that sort of come into maturity every 7 years. They're on a 7 year life path. There's people that their chakras mature every 8 years. They're on an 8 year path. And then there's people who chakras they mature every 9 years, and so they're on a 9 year path or a 9 year cycle. So the ages will depend on if you go times 7, times 8, or times 9. Simple. Okay, the color is violet and it governs your micro and macro cosmos. So, whatever is inside of us is outside of us. The microcosm of the macrocosm. We are the seeds of the universe. When you are in the positive side of this coin, you are your own guru, right? You're understanding that you are your best teacher. You will find things to help you learn things, but until you implement that thing, it's just knowledge and it's meaningless. But when you start implementing what you're learning and you give it a try, that's when you become your own guru. And then the negative side is when you let the ego take over. And the ego is, I. I did this, I did that. Oh, are you sure about that? That's the ego. Ego means ignorance. Okay, enough of that. Seed sound. Your seed sound for this connection to the universe is your mantra, whatever mantra you're choosing to connect with at that time. I also have mantras in my YouTube channel, so maybe listen to some mantras and see which one resonates with you. And the musical note is B. B, just B. Okay, so let's look at the Western and Eastern beliefs and how we can they're actually bring them together. So in the West, this symbol is the caduceus, and it's the symbol that we use for our medical system. It was the Greeks used it, the Romans used it, and then our medical corps started using it in the 1900s, the caduceus. Okay, now let's look at the East. And I'm going to put this up now. Let's look at the East and your chakra system. And here is what the caduceus really was meaning is that the wings represent peace. The rod or this rod is your spinal cord. It's your spinal cord. And the rod represents, the word for it is sushumna. So the sushumna is your spine. That's like where energy is traveling through. Then you see this two-headed serpent. One is the feminine energy, which is your Ida, and the other one is your masculine energy, which is your Pingala. The Ida is the receiving energy. The Pingala is the doing energy or the masculine energy. So they both start at the root chakra and then they work their way through until they get to the Ajna chakra. When both sides are balanced, masculine and feminine energy, higher self, lower self, Shiva, Shakti, whatever you want to choose to call it, you're like the earth and the universe, everything comes through and flows through every single one of us. So when you understand that you're this little energetic being and energy is coming up from the earth, up into you, you're offering that above, whatever you choose to call it is yours. That energy, that power, that raw power comes back into you, comes back down through you to the earth. Then you start to get creative because the earth energy is very creative. And then you can co-create with the universe. Okay, so this is Eastern and Western. You see all these little chakras and how they cross over. So we have it right. We're just not looking at the whole picture. We're only looking at half the picture. Okay. That's our chakra system. That is our chakra system. This is how, our chakras they are literally what energize us. So if you're having some kind of physical issues, then, maybe just try and do based on where those physical issues are. Maybe Try and do a meditation for that chakra. Maybe try sound healing. I have a whole list. I have guided meditations for your chakras. I have sound healing. I have mantras. There's everything that you need to know to keep yourself aligned, to keep yourself looking up, to keep yourself attached to the earth and living your earthly life while communicating with above to be in touch with, hey, you got me on this one. Are you going to help me on this one? Please. Thank you. All right. So that's your chakra system. Please share, subscribe. I would love for everyone to just get to know your chakras and give it a try. This is all just knowledge. It's how you implement that knowledge is going to bring you your own wisdom. All right, thanks for watching. Peace and love. And remember, spirituality is kind of practical. Bye.